In this video, I'm going to review my trade in ISRG that I closed 2 days ago for a loss of -1 hour. And I think this was a pretty dumb trade on my part. So I'm going to analyze it on 6 criteria and see what I can learn from this so I don't make such silly mistakes again. So I'm going to look at the situational awareness at the time of buying and selling, my position sizing on the trade, the stock selection of ISRG, the entry, the stop loss, and the exit. So let's go. Situational awareness at the time of buying ISRG was pretty bearish in general. The market has been going sideways for quite a few months and my portfolio has had no traction. But I chose ISRG for two reasons. One, it's part of the biotech group, and you can see the gray line that represents this healthcare and medical devices group, and it's been outperforming this buy for quite some time. And the second reason is that ISRG itself had really good earnings. On this day, it went up 11% on very high volume and broke out of this huge daily cup and handle base that has been almost a year and a half in the making. So I think my reasons for putting this stock in my list of earnings winners was justified. Because of the SA and the lack of traction in my portfolio, I took a pilot size position in ISRG and risked only 12 basis points of my total equity. That too is in line with my rules, so I think that was fine as well. In terms of entry, that's where the problems begin. So as you know, I note all of my entries and exits on Twitter for my own journaling. And this was posted on the day that I bought ISRG. So it was a watch list stock, which is good. I noted why I bought it and the risk, but look at the RWAL at the time of buying. It was minus 33%. So the stock really wasn't getting any volume, and it seemed like I was just getting desperate. Look at the 5-minute chart as well at the time of me buying it. The stock had barely gone up, and there was no volume coming in. And despite this lack of volume, I used the stop loss at the low of the. Now, I was probably lured by the risk reward of taking only a 0.7% stop loss. And that's why I just sort of FOMO'd into this stock. But technically, even when I trade stocks with a lower RWAL and make that exception, I put the stop loss as the swing low, which in this case would have been the previous day's stop. So the stop loss was definitely wrong on this, but more importantly, the entry itself was wrong because the RWAL was just not there. And in a market which is so bearish and such a difficult trading environment, this seemed more like a forced trade or a FOMO trade. I shouldn't have gone in on a subpar setup where all the stars are not aligned and the volume is just not there. So the entry and the stop loss were both wrong in this case. Now let's go back to the chart and look at the exit. So ISRG barely went up, like another tick, one more 5-minute candle after I bought it, and immediately came back down and stopped me out in like 30 minutes. So the stop loss itself was fine because at this point, having entered with this tight a stop loss, there's nothing really that I could do. And I did take the loss at a full 1 hour, but had I put the stop loss as the swing low, which would have been a more logical stop loss, since the stock didn't have any RWAL, I would have still been in this trade and it would have gone up 1 hour and become safe in another day. So in terms of how I would rate this trade, I would say my SA was good, my position sizing was good, my stock selection was good, my entry on the other hand sucked, my stop loss was wrong, and my exit was fine because at that point I had already written my fate and there was nothing I could do about it. So this has been a pattern in my own trading for quite a while that I have noticed. FOMO is one of my Achilles heel, and I do tend to pile into stocks even when the setup is not perfect, especially given this challenging environment. And as a result, whatever positive gains that I make on good trades, I end up giving back because of trades such as these, where I'm making really silly, stupid mistakes. And that is what has been keeping my account going sideways for a very long time rather than steadily upwards in this bear market. So, what I need to do is just cut out all these trades that I'm taking forced entries on and FOMOing into, and just that itself would take care of my P&L. I hope that I don't repeat this mistake again in the future. And doing this kind of post analysis definitely helps me see the reason and the logic for why so clearly. But let me know if I'm missing anything else that I could have done better. Um, I'm always looking to learn, and I hope that you've learned something from my mistake too. Thank you.